radio, about to hit another high. Everything you wanna know, but the school fake it fast. To facts tight, gotta make this moment last. We bringing go, half strip like in the candy with style. It's about to get wild. Let the ratings roll. Yeah, let the truth unfold. Las Vegas in our veins, like a story told. People went through the speakers, shaking up your soul. Yeah, we Lunatik Raider. Always on the road. From the strip like some insights, navigate the night. Truth in every state, painted pictures so right. Love to with a brand new secret. Yo, no, the spirit is so star. Pull your organ that you can't ignore. The heart of Vegas need. The words you can't ignore. Let the ratings roll. Yeah, let the truth unfold. Las Vegas in our veins, like a story told. Yeah, people went through the speakers, shaking up your soul. The Lunatik Raider Show, always on the road. Skyline to the desert, feel the rhythm of the beat. We're setting in the stage, making history in the heat. Voices rise and fall in a city that never sleeps. Yeah, the Raider Show keeps spinning, the secrets Vegas keeps. Let the Raiders roll, let the truth unfold. Las Vegas in our veins, like a story told. Yeah, we moving through the speakers, shaking up your soul. Yeah, the Lunatik Raider Show, always on the road. The city like splash me, rapping the biggest night news on the radio, about to hit another high. Everything you wanna know, but the school fake it fast. To facts tight, gotta make this moment last. We bringing go, half strip like in the candy with style. It's about to get wild. Let the ratings roll. Yeah, let the truth unfold. Las Vegas in our veins, like a story.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is countdown for the Lunatik Raider Show. 2 minutes and counting.
Always on the road. From the strip like some insights, navigate the night. Truth in every state, painted pictures so right. Love to with a brand new secret. Yo, no, the spirit is so star. Pull your organ that you can't ignore. The heart of Vegas need. The words you can't ignore. Let the ratings roll. Yeah, let the truth unfold. Las Vegas in our veins, like a story told. Yeah, people went through the speakers, shaking up your soul. The Lunatik Raider Show, always on the road. Skyline to the desert, feel the rhythm of the beat. We're setting in the stage, making history in the heat. Voices rise and fall in a city that never sleeps. Yeah, the Raider Show keeps spinning, the secrets Vegas keeps. Let the Raiders roll, let the truth unfold. Las Vegas in our veins, like a story told. Yeah, we moving through the speakers, shaking up your soul. Yeah, the Lunatik Raider Show, always on the road. The city like splash me, rapping the biggest night news on the radio, about to hit another high. Everything you wanna know, but the school fake it fast. To facts tight, gotta make this moment last. We bringing go, half strip like in the candy with style.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome.
Rise, my nation. Gather around and prepare. Our pride will be restored. Our shadow will fall with wicked damnation. Rise, my nation. Rise. This is your nation. This is our nation. This is the Raider Nation. Can you dig it?
What it is, Raider Nation, what it is, man. Happy, joy. It's hump day. Welcome to another episode of the Lunatik Raider Show with yours truly, Lunatik Raider, man. Hey, we're going to get into it. We got a good show for you today. We're going to cover the process of Pete Carroll's secondary. Yes, what is Pete Carroll's plan at secondary? Remember we touched a little bit on it yesterday when we were discussing what we think or what I think, and some of y'all might agree as far as the Raiders' approach to the defense and how they're building it. I told you that I got a feeling that they're trying to come with the 2020 Tampa Bay Buccaneers front with their front four, even though they run out of 3-4, but they tend to do 4-3 also as their base defense, so it goes either way. But that's exactly the kind of thing that the Raiders, I think, are specifically trying to do, which is just as similar as what Philadelphia did to Kansas City in the Super Bowl. Secondary-wise, this is predominantly what Pete Carroll is trying to do in his cover three, where he wants big, long, lanky secondary players to cover more area, like I told you. You know what I mean? So we're going to get into it, man. Shout out to the world's most dangerous chat. Appreciate y'all for popping up. Let me go ahead and dive in, man, one time, man. One time for your mind. And we are live on TikTok finally. I figured it out. So we're gonna get it cracking, y'all. So what we gonna do is shout out the world's most dangerous chat. Well, you already know what it is, man. It is what it is, and it's always gonna remain that way. We got Mickey Ficky Raider. Who we got up in this building, man? We got Robert Ping in the building, and you already know what he's dropping on our heads already.
I'm out of time. There you go.
There you go. You already know, man. Let's do this shit, man, for real. Raider Paul in the building, and he's following it up with a back-to-back homer.
I'm out of time. There you go.
Hey, I gotta bust out the Pete Carroll bobblehead. There you go. You feel me? The Pete Carroll bobblehead, man. Let's get into it, man. Shout out to everybody. Raider Peaches in the building. What's up, Miss Lady? Yes, indeed. Behind me and in front of me. Yes, indeed. I just call it a lunatic sandwich. Yes, indeed. Let's go. We got Willie Wayne in the building, man. Salute to you, man. Thank you for pulling up. I appreciate it. Yes, sir. Sacktown Raider Mike, my guy, man. What it is, what it was, and what it always shall be. Raider Nation on ours, right? That's right, man. I appreciate you for popping up, man. For real. Let me scroll down as we get down a little further down in the building, man. Willie Wine in the building. Sacktown Raider Mike in the building. Raider Peaches in the building. Eagle Terrier 207 in the Mickey Ficky house. What it do, man? Hey, salute to you. Thank you for popping up. Yes, indeed. Barrios Clips TV, salute to you, man. I appreciate you. What up, Luna? There you go. Hey, you already know. Hold on, I gotta. There you go. You know what I mean? Salute to you, man. I appreciate you. Yes, indeed, man. Holy Real Talk Raider Nation in the building. What it do, man? I appreciate you for pulling up, man. For real. We got 916 Raider in the building, man. What is up, man? Hey, good to see you, man. Top of the evening, bottom of the afternoon. Either way, either go. Hey, let's go, man. Salute, man. Appreciate y'all. Shout out to everybody on Instagram, on TikTok, on where else we on? X, formerly known as Twitter, on Twitch. We are everywhere, man. Wherever your eyes can open and see is where that Raider Nation will be. You know that? Shout out to y'all, man. So yeah, man, we're gonna get into it today, man. We're gonna talk about Pete Carroll and his game plan as far as I think that the defense has been split. Not in a negative way, not that kind of way, but split to the part where I think Patrick Graham is gonna take care of the front part of the defense because that's Patrick Graham's bread and butter. He was a defensive line coach. He coached linebackers before becoming a DC. So that's his expertise. Pete Carroll's expertise on the second hand is the secondary with the safeties and corners. Now we understand what the nation of not the nation. See, the nation of doom is my. Hey, I did that moniker. Remember that shit. Lunatic said Nation of Boom. Nation of Boom, remember that. But the Legion of Doom, the 2014 Seattle Seahawks, consisted of a very long-rangey, hard-hitting secondary with Richard Sherman and fucking I'm drawing a blank, Chancellor. You know what I mean? They did their thing. I'm gonna show you how eerie similar that deep. I ain't gonna say that defense. We're gonna talk about secondary. That secondary is with the secondary that could be for the 2025 Las Vegas Raiders, man. We're gonna get into it. So without further ado, man, let's do the breakdown, shall we? All right, y'all. Y'all familiar? If y'all familiar with the 2014 Seattle Seahawks, man, these cats right here had one of the best defenses ever to lay turf on field. And that, I'm even including that with the 2000 Baltimore Ravens, the 85 Chicago Bears, when they had Richard Dent. And come on, bruh. They had some great defenses in history. This is one of the ones that, to me, was one of the greats on the back end. The front was not bad either. But everybody remembers the secondary. They were so ball hawkish and had their eye on turnovers, and these guys were big physical dudes. As you can see right here, man, we got Mr. Richard Sherman. We know the OG shit talker from Compton, California. You feel me? But you figure playing that left corner spot, the dude was 6'3" and 195 pounds, bruh. 6'3". That's a big corner. That's a nice corner. And if you guys remember when they played the 49ers in the NFC Championship game, Kaepernick was going to Crabtree, and I don't know why Crabtree thought he was going to get that ball over a 6'3" corner. I don't know. I don't know. But he tried to, and Sherman said, not today. And got his paw on the ball, bars. Come on now. And he got the ball back in play, man, and took it away from Crabtree for them to go ahead and advance and go on to that Super Bowl, which they went on and did. So you got a long-rangey corner. Now, we look at the safety position. Now, their safeties were just as good and big and physical as well. We already know about Cam Chancellor, a 6'3" safety. Look at him, 6'3", 225-pound safety, bruh. Safety. Playing a strong safety. You had Earl Thomas, which at 5'10", was a ball hawk. Earl Thomas was a ball hawk, wasn't scared to mix it up. Another guy at the safety position. These guys, this was a nice secondary to have with that team. That Legion of Boom deserved that name. It deserved that name. And then you had another corner when you had Byron Maxwell at 6'1", 207 pounds. Now, Pete Carroll always said in his cover three, which he kind of he had a hybrid type of defensive end as well. That was a linebacker / defensive end. Bruh, you see where we're going with this shit. And I'm going to show you the Raiders' potential. What we added and what we already had. Now, just remember, we have a what was Sherman? Sherman was a 6'3" corner, a 6'3" center with Chancellor. Then we had a 5'10" safety, but a ball hawk. And then you had a 6'1" corner on the other side with Byron Maxwell. So we look at this and say, okay, I see where you're going with this tick, but do you? Let's look at what the Raiders look like. Here we are, the Las Vegas Raiders, potential 2025 starters. Look what they have. You got Jacorian Bennett at 5'11", 195. I call him Mr. PBU, Mr. Pass Breakup. You know what I mean? That's what he do. If he stayed healthy, he had 8 pass defended last season and didn't even play the whole season. 8 of them. Every time I looked up and seen Jacorian Bennett guarding whoever, and the ball came that receiver's way, who Paul was on the ball first? Jacorian Bennett. So I look forward to seeing him in year 3, his development and being healthy in the secondary. And we know what Pete Carroll gets out of the secondary players. You know what I mean? He gets total max out of it. Total maxed out effort is what he gets out of his secondary, because that's what he's known for. Shout out to everybody. Let me see who anybody else popping up, man. I appreciate you. My 2 cents is in the building, man. What it is, man. Thank you for being here. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hold on, let me scroll up. What else I got up in here? Anthony Estrada in the building. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. We got the Gaffler. What it is? What it is, Gaffler? Hey, good to see you, brother. For real, for real. Sacktail Mike, you already know it's always love here, man. For real, for real. My 2 cents. You know, I'm looking for, let me see. I just missed somebody. Mike G in the building. What it is, man? What it is, man? Good to have you. Already know it's always good, bro. You've been sticking with me from day one. I fucks with Mike G. For real, for real. Pause. Not that kind. You guys stop that shit. Not that kind. Let me see. Real Talk Raider Nation. We got Lost City. We in the building. What it is, man? Salute to you. Thank you for coming in, man. For real. Hey, shout out to everybody watching. If you have not done so, please subscribe to the channel. To those that's watching on TikTok, as we are live, hit the in the bio, hit that link. Go to the YouTube page, man. Subscribe to the channel. Once we hit 3,000 subscriptions, I am giving away a free TV to 1 subscriber, but you must be subscribed to the YouTube channel. Yes, indeed. You must be subscribed. And we're at 2261. We're carrying weight. We're on our way. So be ready. Be ready. 1 free TV given out to 1 lucky subscriber, man, once we hit 3,000. Wow, man. Let's go. Let's go. I know we can do this shit, man. 916 Raider, what up? What up? What up, man? For real. Sacramento, 916, huh? Yeah, man, I'm already knowing. Elk Grove, out that Elk Grove area, right outside of let me see. I used to go out there and record with a producer I had back in the early 2000s in Davis. A lot of y'all might know JR is a producer. Sean Kingston is his artist on his label. I was dealing with JR, Jonathan Rodham, back in early like 2001. We went to his house and bought beats from him and recorded and everything. So yeah, shout out to 916, man. Let's go. Let's go. We in the building, man, for real. Barrio Clips, you already know what it is, Egalitarian. Where my guy, where's D Nice? Oh, D Nice ain't gonna pop up, man. Let me click my heels 3 times and see if we can get an appearance by D Nice, man. Let me where my Air Force Ones at, so I can click my heels 3 times and see if we can get D Nice up on here. Hopefully you'll pop up, man. All right, man. Let's get back into it. A matter of fact, before I go any further, shout out to the nation, man. The world's most dangerous chat. You know what it is, man. Without you, there's no me, and without us, there's no nation. There's only one nation, and that's the motherfucking Raider Nation, man. Hey, salute to y'all, man, for real. All right, back to the content. So as you can see, we're getting into the Raiders coverage of what potentially could be the Raiders secondary. Now, there's going to be competitions at certain points of the defense, from safety to corner, but we pretty much know what direction is leading towards. So we just talked about Jacorian Bennett. I love his upcoming, his progress, being coached up. Now he gets with a legitimate safety corner type of coach in Pete Carroll. Pete Carroll knows what he wants. And he's going to add that back into this cover 3 defense that's going to have pressure up front with your Max Crosbys, with your Christian Wilkins, your Adam Butlers, and even your Malcolm Kuntz. And not to mention the draft picks that can come in as well. Now we move on to the safety spot. We know about Jeremy Chin from Washington. Now we've seen what exactly let's refer. Let's look at the safety spot. We're going back to Seattle now. Look at Cam Chancellor at 6'3", 225 pounds. Safety, strong safety. And then comes in for us who? Jeremy Chin, 6'3", 220-pound safety. See the resemblance? Bruh, the same size. 5 pounds difference. 5 pounds difference. See, Pete Carroll know what he's doing. He knows what he wants. He knows what he needs for this defense to operate. So you're going from Cam, and I'm not saying Jeremy Chin is Cam Chancellor, but there's another thing about this defense that a lot of people overlook, and I talked about Devin White yesterday. There are people entitled to their opinions about him not being good, ain't been good since he left Tampa Bay. To me, if he went to multiple teams after Tampa Bay and he's only in his mid-20s, did he fall off that quick? Or did the systems he go to wasn't a fit? Bars again. Did he fall off that quick? Or did the systems he went to didn't fit? I think it's the systems. Because when he was with Tampa Bay, he had no problem using his athleticism. And I think he's one of those type of, see, like I told you, there's different types of players. There's players that's really him. You can put him in any system and he's going to operate. And you tell him just do what you do. Like Max Crosby. You don't have to tell Max Crosby what to do. Max Crosby knows he's him. He knows what to do. You put him out there on the field, you say, go get the quarterback. That's what he's going to do. So with that kind of guy, you don't really have to worry about. But what about the other guys? Instead of trying to have Max Crosby fit into what you're doing, let Max Crosby do what he does and cook and fit the other pieces around him. Devin White is one of those pieces that you fit around him. You don't need Devin White to come here and do what he does. We need you to complement Max Crosby. We don't need Max Crosby to complement the defense. Because he's our guy. He's that dude. You know what I mean? So in a defense like that, all you need from Devin White to do, fill in the void, be there to support Max. If Max, do your job. You don't have to go over and beyond. You ain't got to put on the cape and leap over buildings in a single bound. That's not what we're asking of you. We have Superman already. We got Superman already. Max Crosby. Everybody else is a compliment. If we can get another him to go alongside him, then we'll add that and we'll let him cook and do what he does too. So Devin White is more of a complimentary piece. It's kind of like you go out to dinner, right? And I'll give it to you like this. You go out to dinner. Say we go out to Red Lobster. We get the lobster lover's dream. We get 2 lobster tails and pasta and lobster. But you know what Devin White is? He's the Cheddar Bay biscuit. It's not going to fill you up. You don't expect nothing much from it, but it's good to hold you down. It's good to add to what you're having. A precursor to a larger meal. That's all Devin White is. Anybody else that they add in here is in that position that he's going to be at linebacker. Don't expect him to move needles, but expect him to help the person who moves the needle. That's exactly what Devin White is. For anybody to expect anything better out of him, who knows? He could, though. Who knows? The system, he might get back into the same system that he had in Tampa Bay. Now, Tampa Bay ran a 3-4. That was the Fangio defense that they ran. But Fangio's defense, no, not Fangio, that was Philadelphia. I'm tripping. Was it Fangio in our? I'm trying to remember, but I'm drawing a blank. But the defense that Tampa Bay had was a 3-4 that they ran. But they came out of the 4-3 also. But you got to remember, the one that Pete Carroll and them going to do with the cover 3, you are predominantly 4-3, but you do have 3-4 concepts. Thus, you have your hybrid defensive end linebacker. Who can that be for the Raiders? I think Malcolm Kuntz can play that. If they decide to do that, there's a reason why we went out there and got a nose tackle in Lakai. I hope I'm saying it right. Lakai, the big nose tackle we got. And like I said, people look at him, oh, he didn't do much. That's not his purpose. You look at Vita Vea back in 2020 with the Super Bowl winning Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He only had 2 sacks. Why? Because his job was not to be the man. It was to help the Ndamukong Suhs who had 6 sacks. The Jason Pierre-Pauls who had 9.5 sacks that season. That's what Vita Vea was there for. 2 sacks, you look at him and be like, oh, he's a bust. You know, this last season, Vita Vea had 7 sacks. 7. Why? Because he's no longer the support guy. You know what I mean? He worked his way up the ladder. He went from washing dishes to taking orders. It is what it is. So we got to look at it at that concept. Everybody's not here to be the man. It would be nice if they developed into that, but that's not what everybody's going to do. Let's be realistic. Just like going to the casino, everybody's not going to hit on the slot, but you give it a try. So now we're looking at here goes the common denominator is this lengthy, long secondary that Pete Carroll likes, and this is what they brought in. So you get Jeremy Chin at 6'3". We already had POLA-MAO, the other safety, at 6'4", 205. Runs a 4.35 40. Another guy. Our 2 safeties are 6'3" and 6'4". Length again. Then you go in there out there in free agency and you bring in Eric Stokes, 6'1", 194 corner. And I'm not going to give you honorable mention when you got Lonnie Johnson Jr., who's 6'2", the Cameron Richardson, who's 6'2", corner. Those are other guys that's in the mix in the secondary that's long and lanky. This is what Pete Carroll builds. This is his expertise, the secondary. So he went out there and got long guys. Now everybody's looking at him like, let me get back on Devin White. You know, Devin White only signed a 1-year deal for $1.1 million. Did we overpay? Did we overpay for a support piece? And I tell everybody, you're not going to build your team through free agency. New England's trying to do it. They're trying to do it. But if they do succeed, how long is that going to be sustained? How long is that success of that team going to be sustained with these contracts? Because when they start, if they do something big with that team, they're going to have to shed contracts. There's going to be a day when Drake May, bars, is going to get paid. God damn, I'm good at this shit. There's going to be a day that Drake May going to get paid. See, they're lucky they got a rookie quarterback right now that's not absorbing half of their salary cap. Oh, yeah, when you have something like that, you can go out there and spend money. Let's go address this. And we'll kick that can down the road. We ain't got to worry about it for another 3 years because there's a 5th-year option on Drake May anyway because he's a first-round draft pick. They're in a good situation. That's the kind of situation we need to be in. Do we get our quarterback of the future in this draft? But they said they're trying to win now. And if you trade for Geno Smith, all fingers point to you're trying to win now. You're not trying to rebuild and you're spending $40 million fucking dollars on a quarterback. Come on. People call this shit a rebuild. It does not even smell like a rebuild. It don't look like a rebuild. And if it don't quack like a rebuild, it ain't a duck. You know what I mean? So that's just the shit that I look at, from the outside looking in, and this is not a rebuild. They are seriously trying to win now. They're seriously trying to regenerate the Legion of Boom right in front of our fucking eyes. Pete Carroll went out and got the guys he feels fit what he's trying to do on defense in the back end. And I think him and Patrick Graham has a beautiful relationship with this defense. And what I mean when I say that the nation is split, because the offensive front and the defensive front and the defensive back are being taken care of by 2 different people, but they know what the fuck they're doing. Pete Carroll knows what he's doing with the secondary. Patrick Graham knows defensive linemen and linebackers. That's what he's been doing before he became a defensive coordinator. That's his pedigree. So you let those two guys cook, and then they meet in the middle and marry the two. And I told you yesterday, if they can duplicate this, if they can recreate the front of the 2020 Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the secondary of the 2014 Seattle Seahawks, what kind of defense would you rate that? I'll wait. Don't forget that 2020 Tampa Bay Buccaneer defense kept Kansas City Chiefs from scoring a single touchdown in the Super Bowl. Not one touchdown by Patrick Mahomes at all, period. That defense did that shit. They did that shit. And just to give you a little breakdown of exactly how this cover 3 is going to work, and just imagine with Jeremy Chin, Isaiah POLA-MAO, you got Jacorian Bennett, possibly Eric Stokes, but I heard the secondary, that corner spot, Jack Jones is included. Lonnie Johnson is included. You got the young dude, DeCameron Richardson, that's included. We got guys in there. And I know Pete Carroll, his bread and butter is developing secondary. I'm not worried about the secondary. Everything you thought Jeremy Chin was ain't who he's going to be. Everything you thought POLA-MAO was ain't who he's going to be. Everything Jacorian Bennett was ain't who he's going to be. There will be development. Eric Stokes is not who he's going to be. Not with Pete Carroll. And then the ultimate thing about this defense is it's an ultimate team defense. Remember I told you the machine is greater than the sum of its parts? This is a perfect example of what that meaning is. And I got a breakdown for you guys right now, how this cover 3 is going to work, the breakdown, the theory behind it, and the pieces needed, especially under Pete Carroll, to make this shit work, man. Check this shit out.
The 2014 Seattle Seahawks defensive alignment, known as the Legion of Boom, was a 4-3 hybrid defense, primarily utilizing a 3-deep zone and man coverage, with a focus on pressuring quarterbacks without blitzing and limiting passing windows. Here's a more detailed breakdown. Base formation, 4-3 hybrid, incorporating 3-4 defensive principles. Key principles, simplicity. The defense was known for its simplicity and effectiveness. Run defense. The combination of 2-gap defensive linemen and 8 in the box made them strong against the run. Pass defense. They focused on closing off passing windows with long defenders on the back end, rather than relying on blitzes. True team defense. ESPN described it as a true team defense, emphasizing collective effort.
And then this is, let me make myself big. You feel me? So like they say, the concept of the defense that Pete Carroll's going to run with that same Seattle type defense is going to be simplicity. It's going to be simple. You're not going to have to overthink in this defense. A lot of people say, "Oh, but Devin White can't cover. Oh, Elandon Roberts can't cover." No, that's not what their job is going to be. Guess what their job is going to be? Get into the passing windows. If we get pressure by our front 4, Crosby, Wilkins, Butler, and Kuntz, and I know for a fact, and if we do draft at 6 and take Graham, I know for certain those front 4 will get to Mahomes, will get to Herbert, get to every Tom, Dick, and Harry. And no, I don't know if every Tom's Dick is Harry, but every Tom, Dick, and Harry will get to. And what does that allow you to do? You can drop back your linebackers, keep them in that box and stuff. What I can tell you damn, I just draw a blank. What I can tell you about Devin White and Elandon Roberts is that they're good against the run. You get in the box, you be able to stop the run, keep them one-dimensional. You drop your safeties and your corners back long range. I told you, 6'3", 6'4", it gives you more area to cover. So that's what happened to Mahomes last year against Philadelphia. Go watch the Super Bowl. Tell me how long Mahomes was holding that ball, because there was no windows to throw to. See, if I can't cover an offensive receiver, guess what I do? I make sure there's no window to throw to him. Make sure there's no window. I might not go hip to hip with him. You're not going to be as fast as everybody. You putting a linebacker on a wide receiver. What are we expecting here? They're running 4.5s, and we got wide receivers at 4.27s, 4.3s. Did you really think they were going to be able to go in their hip pocket? But you do have a range you can cover. You got a range you can cover. Get in those windows. Make it uncomfortable for the quarterback to think I can make that throw to my receiver. Or is he going to think, I'm not going to risk it? Hold the ball, and then the front four gets to him, sack. That's exactly what we've seen in the Super Bowl, bruh. Exactly. Now, can we duplicate that? Do we have the right pieces to do it? Well, to me, looking at what we do have compared to what was done with the Legion of Boom, it looks to me like this is what Pete Carroll's trying to recreate. This is what he's trying to recreate. We got long, lanky guys in the secondary, bruh. And then we got a front four that can be formidable with anybody in the NFL. You cannot tell me otherwise. If Kuntz can do what he did before he got hurt, and everybody stays healthy, we know what Adam Butler does. But, Adam Butler out of the front four, what he adds to it, yeah. But just imagine if you did get somebody like a Graham. Everybody say he's a blue chipper. Graham is a blue chipper at defensive tackle. I agree. Abdul Carter is a blue chipper at defensive end. I agree. If they and I'm thinking, as much as they talk about linemen, and I know defense wins championships, don't be surprised if the Raiders don't trade back. They take Graham at 6. I like Genty, I like McMillan, but the defense to them in their eyes, I think is more important. Spytek knew this. He was there in 2020 with the Tampa Bay Bucks with that defense when Ndamukong Suh and all. Man, come on, bruh. Vita Vea. Jason Pierre-Paul, who had 9.5 sacks that season. Come on. He knows what it looks like. He knows what type of talent he needs to do this. The defense of Tampa Bay, they had Tom Brady, but that defense was nasty. They did not allow one touchdown from Mahomes. And we go to Seattle, 2014. That defense was nasty. Not one touchdown from the Denver Broncos. Both teams shut out in the motherfucking column of touchdowns. Both of the teams they faced in the Super Bowl in a 6-year period. One in 2014, one in 2020. And both of the people of those two teams are with this team right now to recreate that shit. Go figure. Go figure. I see what this shit looks like. They are not bullshitting. To me, they're trying to win now. And the defense is going to be good enough to keep things intact until the offense come along. We finally got a quarterback. What if we had a quarterback last year? You know how many games that we were leading at halftime last year that we end up losing? I think it was about 7? 7 games we were in the lead at halftime and lost? What if we would have had a quarterback? I'm just saying. But I know if was a 5th, we all be drunk. We all be hiccuping and singing How Dry I Am. But Pete Carroll is the right guy for this to do this shit. He built it before. Why he couldn't build it again? Spytek was one of the guys. He wasn't the main GM. He was assistant GM. And probably back then he was the one to help Brady come. Look, let me show you how this shit is how this shit looks. You're giving these guys a lot of tasks that they have completed before in their lifetime. Tampa Bay under Spytek. Spytek was one of the reasons why he got Tom Brady from the New England Patriots to come to Tampa Bay. Right? Experience right there. What did Pete Carroll just do with Spytek? Didn't they just get Geno Smith from Seattle to the Raiders? I'm just saying. You give Geno Smith a defense and a run game, and there's plenty of running backs in this motherfucking draft. That's the crazy shit. We all talking about Genty. Yes, I agree. Genty is good, but this is not one of them. I don't think the offense is gonna be predicated on having a superstar, even though we got one in Bowers. But I don't think it's just if you don't have a super. I think the pieces just have to fit. The pieces just have to fit. Same on defense. The pieces just have to fit. It's a machine as a whole. Period. You like the end result after they build a Mustang for you, or they build a Porsche or a Ferrari for you, a Lamborghini. You like the finished product, but you know in order to get to that finished product, the way that machine runs, that car runs, you know it took an engine, it took spark plugs, took gasoline, took 4 tires, took a steering wheel. You know, you see where I'm getting at? The parts itself makes the car. And that's exactly what they're doing here with the Raiders. It's the parts that make the vehicle, not the vehicle that makes the parts. We're trying to build a motherfucking Porsche and Lamborghini. But that Lamborghini ain't shit without an engine. It ain't going nowhere. That's just one piece. So I'm looking at it as a whole. It's like a pizza. I can give you just all crust. No sauce, no cheese, no sausage, no pepperoni, no bell peppers, just crust. And you're going to be like, what the fuck is this? I'll say what that is, sir, is an unfinished product. It's not a pizza until the pizza's complete. And it doesn't matter if you just take the pepperonis off. People eat pizza with just cheese on it. Some people don't want pepperoni. Some people want pepperoni. Some people don't want sausage. Some people don't want olives or bell peppers. But you put it all together, what you have, finished product. Can the Raiders build a finished product? We see the blueprint. It's easy to have a blueprint, but it don't mean shit if you can't build it. So I'm sitting back watching this shit, and I'm like, it started coming to me like these motherfuckers is trying to recreate this shit. They're not trying to recreate just the Tampa Bay defense, because Tampa Bay's, and if you look at the two, Seattle and Tampa Bay, the only reason why I go with those two teams because the two people that's building this shit came from those two teams that helped build that shit. Tampa Bay had a wonderful front seven with their linebackers and defensive front, period. Great. Better than Seattle's defensive front in 2014. Facts. Tampa Bay's front was way better than Seattle's front from those two Super Bowl teams. But Seattle's secondary was way better than Tampa Bay's. Facts. So what if we take the best out of both teams and make one? Dr. Frankenstein. Here we go. Here we go. It's alive. Boy, I'm telling you, I see this shit for what it is. And I'm telling you, and that's why I said, if they pull this shit off, and it's going to be, and what matters the most is how quickly do they gel. But it's, like I said, it's a simplistic defense. You don't have to overthink. You just play within the confines of the game. They act, you react. Nothing to sit there and study and calculate. No, you just react of their actions and move. And we got guys that can beeline. Devin White can beeline. Jeremy Chin can beeline. Elandon Roberts can beeline, and so can POLA-MAO can beeline. Who's the other linebackers? We haven't had a draft yet. There might be more to come. Who's the other defensive tackles? More to come. Secondary corners, more to come. We got to wait and see. Hey, get your popcorn, get your drinks, sit back, kick back, and just let's watch this shit unfold. If they can do what I think they're trying to do, I ain't going to even go out there and say that shit. They got to prove to me. Show me that y'all can do it, though. Because you get people that say, oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, and end up not doing shit. We've been stuck like that for the past how many decades? We always get over consumed with thinking this is the year. And I stopped thinking like that shit. You know what I mean? It's kind of like being a 5-year-old Drake and you thinking that your daddy coming back after he left you. You're in the window waiting for him to pick you up that weekend and he don't show because he in Memphis getting drunk off of Memphis barbecue sauce. Shout out to Kendrick Lamar. But yeah, Kendrick, your daddy ain't coming back, bro. But for us, dad might pop up and bring you a brand new bike. You know what I mean? Take you out to eat, get a burger and fries. That's all you want. We ain't got to go to Disneyland. Just take me for a burger and a milkshake. You know what I mean? Shit. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Let me get caught up with y'all, man. Hey, this shit, I be trying to understand this shit. This shit is the shit, though. You pass on Germany not trying to win a Super. No. On Genty, here's the thing, though, and this is a fact right here. This is what I tell you, and I try to argue this fact. Is number 6, if taking Genty at number 6 is worth more than trading back and getting 3 players top quality in the first 2 rounds, of course the top 3 tiered players you pick with that trade back is worth way more than Genty. Facts. Way more than Genty. Way more. And it's a fact that Genty will not play every down. Like if say for instance I go out there and I draft a Graham defensive tackle, I bet you Graham be out there 99.9% of the time at DT, unless he getting gassed. But shit, with our offense, I don't think it's gonna be a whole bunch of 3 and outs. Cause I tell you, here's another one. Philadelphia won the Super Bowl without Genty. Kansas City won the Super Bowl without Genty. Oh, but Philadelphia has Saquon Barkley. How did he do? How many yards did he get? Last time I checked, didn't Jalen Hurts get more rushing yards than Saquon in the Super Bowl? I'm saying that wasn't the Saquon we seen during the regular season in the Super Bowl. So we can't say Saquon won that Super Bowl for him. That was Jalen Hurts with 70 yards rushing, the quarterback. So I don't think it's end all be all with Genty at 6. If you're getting 1 player with the 6th pick, but I can trade back that 6 and get 3, tell me exactly, even if it's just 2 picks. But I know if somebody's moving up to 6, they really want somebody. In the top 10, they really want somebody, and they're going to pay for them. So I don't think it's just going to be, we trade back a first and they give us a 2nd, and that's the deal. No, it's not the deal. You're going to there's going to be more picks. I can get more players. Long as I have somebody in the front office competent enough to make those selections, we can get more value with the 6th pick by trading back than we can taking Genty. Plain and simple. And that's facts. You give me Genty, I trade back from 6. I can get a wide receiver. I trade back. I can possibly get a McMillan, a Milroe, and maybe with 2 second-round picks, the running back from North Carolina. I just won. I got my wide receiver, I got my running back, and my future quarterback all off of that 6th pick by trading back. Where you want to just take that 6th pick and get Genty. See, I never said Genty wasn't good. What I said was, is Genty worth what that 6th pick is value? That 6th pick value can get you more in return than what Genty can give you by himself. You're not going to run every play. You're not. It's not. We're going to run, but we're not going to run every play. It'll be different if Genty was getting the ball every snap like a quarterback. He's not a quarterback. But if I can get a starting wide receiver, my future quarterback, and my starting running back with that 6th pick by trading back, guess what I'm going to do? I'm trading back. I can address more needs with that 6th pick than we can just staying there at 6. I did like Tyree Wilson. Come on now, look at the NFL, and we can look at the price tag that these players are getting. let's talk to everybody in the chat. Check this out. In the NFL on defense, right? Who's the most coveted position on the defensive line? What's the most coveted position? Who's making the most money? Because last time I checked, Max Crosby is making more than any defensive tackle. Wasn't that the position that is getting paid more than the only position paid more than a quarterback is a defensive end, right? What does Jalen Carter play? I wait. What does Tyree Wilson play? I wait. What's the value? Defensive ends are more valuable than a defensive tackle in the NFL. And the salary tells you that. The highest paid player outside of a quarterback is a defensive end, not a defensive tackle. Sorry, but not sorry. I took Tyree Wilson. His ceiling was high, and it's not done yet. It's not done yet. You got defensive guys that's on this team that coach people up like this. And we'll see what happens. Like I said, year one for Tyree Wilson, and I did a show on this months ago. Y'all go back and watch. Tyree's first year was a wash. Even the doctor said that. He will not be 100% in year one. Tyree will not be 100% in year one, and I got a clip of the doctor who performed the surgery that said that shit. They said last year was his rookie year. And what did he have? He had 4 sacks, 3.5 sacks? He had about 3.5 sacks, Tyree did, didn't he? As a rookie, I'll take it. The development ain't done. You probably wanted Ja'Cory Bennett gone after year one, huh? And then he comes around and get 8 PBUs his second year and didn't even play the whole season because of injury. I'm just telling you, the value on the defensive line is defensive end. Facts. Shout out to everybody that's just now pulling up, man. Appreciate you, man. Tony Shepard in the building, man. What it is, man. Salute to you. Thank you for pulling up. I think Dallas will call us. But you know what else? You got to look at teams that got multiple draft picks, too. The 49ers have 11. And you figure it may not be Genty they want, but what if they want McMillan? Because they did get rid of Debo and Brandon Ayuk is on the trade block. That's a perfect, and they got 11 picks. So they have the choices to move up to grab McMillan, to, you know what I mean, if that's who they shooting for at 6. And that's a possibility. Then you got the Miami Dolphins at 13. If we trade back, I like the early teams. I don't want to go all the way back. I want to be no further back than the early teams. J-Ro, what it is, man. Salute to you. And you see Tony Shepard with the what? With the ooh-wee.
It's my time. There you go. There you go.
So, yeah. Yeah, I was shouting out for Tyree. Yeah, I did. We know defensive ends are more valuable. How much did old boy with remember Cleveland? What's the name that wanted to be traded? Defensive end? I want to be traded. And then here come the checkbook. I'll stay. The highest paid player outside of a quarterback is a defensive end, bro. Not Jalen Carter will never be the most highest paid player in NFL at his position. If he was a defensive end, he had action. He would have had action. He would have had action. For real. But yeah, man, it's just, I see that they're trying to build this shit, man, and they're trying to collectively, between Spytek and Carroll, I think they got a wonderful relationship. I think they have a wonderful understanding. I don't know about the relationship, but their understanding of what they're trying to do and how they got to get there to do it. Like I said, Devin White wasn't even the first selection. But you'll be a fool if you're a team and you got a board of the players in free agency you like, and you assume you're going to sign all of them. You'll be a damn fool if you think you're going to sign everybody on your board. Everybody has a reason of why they go to where they go. Everybody thought, why we didn't sign such and such? How you think we just going to sign such and such don't want to sign here? What if he wants to go and follow his defensive position or offensive position coach to the team that they went to. Why? Why would you think they would choose us if they from Florida and Jacksonville and Miami and Tampa Bay is offering them contracts? Why, if his home is in Maryland and that's where he's from and Baltimore's offering him a contract, he wouldn't want to entertain that? Don't just think because you got free agent money, you're just going to sign everybody you want. Just like when you go in the club, you ain't going to knock every bitch you run into. Nah, I ain't going to say that. Shout out to the women out there. You're not going to knock every woman you come across. That was the whole fun of the hunt, going to the club. You and your boys. How many numbers you get? How many you get? You didn't get hers, so I did. Nigga, fuck you. You know what I mean? Shit. Because you probably see us pulling a worst to first. Good question. Anything is possible. I mean, I know it sounds cliche, but anything's possible. It's been done. Now, to win a Super Bowl, you're kind of, wishing upon a star. But that's why I say this is not a rebuild. Majority of this team is players that were already here. How is that a rebuild? A rebuild is to just knock everything down and start all over again. We didn't get rid of Max Crosby. Wilkins is here from last year. Adam Butler is here. Kuntz is here. Eckelberg, whatever the fuck is the line, but he's here. Jacorian Bennett's here. POLA-MAO is here. Cameron Richardson is here. Offense, what? Colton Miller's still here? JPJ, Glaze, Munford? What am I missing? Jacoby Myers? Bowers? Mayer? Trey Tucker? What am I missing? How are we rebuilding if majority of the team is here from last year? That's not a knockdown and rebuild. Or Max Crosby would have got traded for 3 first-round picks. That's right. There was a team, I heard Hondo said that there was a team, and he didn't mention who it was, said that Max Crosby is a 3 first-round pick type talent. You mean to tell me if you're rebuilding, you couldn't use 3 first-round picks? Why the fuck we're wasting Max Crosby's career if we're fucking rebuilding? Why did he re-sign an extension if we're rebuilding? Why would we trade for a quarterback with a 3rd-round pick and expect to give him a $40+ million per year contract if we're rebuilding? Why would we try to sign Matt Stafford even if it was $50 million a year if we're rebuilding? Why would you consume money and not free up money if you're rebuilding? Common economics. That's why a lot of motherfuckers is in hardship. They spend on the wants than the needs. We don't need a $50 million or $40 million per year quarterback if we're rebuilding. So we're going to let him walk. We'll let AOC cheap $1 million contract. AOC making $1 million, bruh. Why we just didn't let him just naturally tank and get us top tier picks, especially with them 3 picks if we would have traded Max Crosby? Come on, with those picks, you mean to tell me you couldn't, in the next 3 years, with 2 first-round picks, in the next 3 drafts, you mean to tell me that's not what you wanted to rebuild? It's not a rebuild, ladies and gentlemen. It's a remodel. You buy a house, you might knock down the garage and build you a nightclub or a strip club or a man cave. That's a remodel. It's not a rebuild. I think people need to understand what a rebuild means. Wouldn't be surprised. Colton and Myers. Hey, here's a good question. I'm glad you said that too. I heard that there's a possibility of Colton Miller getting a restructure to free up more money. The idea is on the table. You know this is his last year on his contract. You could re-sign him, even a re-sign. That'll be more like you say a re-sign, restructure. You know what I mean? Some people convert the salary into a signing bonus that's prorated over the, which is only 1 year, so you wouldn't really do that shit, but you'll give him like dummy years to spread out that signing bonus that you converted the salary into. So if he has 1 year left, I restructure his deal where I add 2 years and take, if he's making say 20 million and I'll convert 10 million into a signing bonus, that 10 million is not paid, but it's spread out over 3 years equally. So you're looking at 3.3% per year. I mean, I said 30.3% each year of that signing bonus. So you're looking at like 3.3 million. 3.3 million, 3.333333, an infinite number like pi. 3.14 is an infinite number, and every number combination is in that number. I'll give y'all some math shit because some of y'all, you know what I mean, 2 plus 2 kind of difficult. Not y'all in the chat, but you know, people are looking in the dark closet. They call it the dark web. It's the dark closet web. You know what I mean? Jack Kenner. Salute to you, Jack. What time is it, man? Yeah, man. So yeah, this is what I'm thinking Pete Carroll's doing. I'm comparing both the secondaries of what we potentially could have starting compared to what the motherfucking Seahawks had in 2014. Then like yesterday, we looked at Tampa Bay, we looked at their front and looked at what we have compared to what they had. Of course, they had Dominican Sue, but not in his prime. JPJ, not JPJ, but Jason Pierre-Paul, not in his prime. He came when you remember he was with the Giants and all that shit. So we have guys in Max Crosby and Wilkins and Kuntz and Adams, and we're not Adam Butler, and we're not even to the draft yet where we can draft guys to come in here. We don't even know what our defense is going to look like. We don't even know what we're going to have on offense. So there's additions to be made as well as retaining your own. That's why it's not a rebuild. All right, y'all. I'm about to get my ass up out of here, man. We done had a great show, man. I appreciate y'all for pulling up. Shout out to everybody on TikTok, on Instagram, on where else we at? We on X, formerly known as Twitter, Twitch, and on YouTube. Please come to the YouTube page, Raiders Allegiance, and please subscribe. Once we hit 3,000 once again, I will be choosing one lucky subscriber to receive a brand new TV. Hopefully we can reach it before the season start, man, so we can get y'all that TV, man. I'll ship it myself and have it straight delivered to your doorstep, man. And thank y'all for supporting this channel and making it do what it do. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Thank y'all for pulling up and hanging out with us, man. I'm Lunatik Raider, and I will be back same Raider time, same Raider channel, 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern, right here on Raiders Allegiance. It's the Lunatik Raider Show, man. And with that being said, like I always say about this time, I'm out this bitch. Ha ha!